It's Divas That Care Radio. Stories, strategies, and ideas to inspire positive change. Welcome to Divas That Care, a network of women committed to making our world a better place for everyone. This is a global movement for women, by women, engaged in a collaborative effort to create a better world for future generations. To find out more about the movement, visit divasthatcare.com after the show. Right now, though, stay tuned for another jolt of inspiration.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Divas That Care. My name is Candace Gish. I am so excited that each and every one of you has tuned in to today's program. I'm going to be actually welcoming back an old friend of mine, Heather Dreger. We haven't had her on the program for a while now, and so we're going to be spending today seeing what she's been up to and hearing all the exciting things that have been happening. So if this, as I said, if this is your very first time tuning in, big welcome. You can check out all of our podcasts at divasthatcare.com. And we have a variety of amazing hosts on there and great programs. So you don't want to miss that. Well, as I said, today's guest is Heather Dreger. Heather, welcome back to the Divas. I'm so excited to have you.
Yes, Candace, you've been hats off to you. How many years you have been doing this and how many people's lives you have positively impacted. And good for you. Like this, you've been at this for a long time, and I'm thrilled to be part of it again today.
Oh, my goodness. I'm excited. Especially in this last year, we haven't had an opportunity to really sit down and chat to see what you've been doing, but you were always busy. And you are doing so many amazing things out there. And you've really inspired a lot of people, especially in your health and wellness businesses that you have developed over the years. And I'm really excited to hear everything that's been happening. But before we kind of dive into that, Heather, would you mind maybe reintroducing yourselves to all of our listeners?
Okay, well, I'm Heather Dreger, and I am a certified and licensed health coach. I live just south of Calgary, Alberta, Canada, just tucked in the foothills, and I'm excited that this year we're celebrating 125 years on our homestead. So my great-grandfather of 1896 homesteaded, and we've been here 33 years. I have a loving soulmate of 33 years, and health has always been in the forefront. When I was a kid, even junior high, my mom wasn't well, and we had pyramids under the bed and grew sprouts and had color lights. So I've been on this health journey a long time. And
you have.
I'm so passionate about it. It's just, so many people have said, Heather, you walk the talk. Yeah, I just live my life, and now I have certification, and I love to share my experiences, my training, and really diving deeper into women's health. That's my real passion. And
I love that.
These past few years, that's been my specific focus.
And you've done so much with it. For all of you listeners, I have known Heather for so many years now, and she has been on this amazing journey. And I'm absolutely inspired by all of the things that you have accomplished in, a relatively short period of time. And it's led you to where you are today. And I know that there's a lot of stuff going on right now today at home, and you've got a lot of energy going, and we had chatted about that. But I want to kind of dive into how it all, really transpired. You are you are a homeschooling mom, and you and I had talked a lot about that in the past. And you dived into really supporting women. And I want to know what really drove you into that.
Oh, good question. You know what? I just have this inner knowing. And I have a real creative spirit, a real pioneer spirit. And I don't know, I get these ideas, and I'm a visionary, and yet I have the skills to manifest and create. And I'll confess, my husband, he'll kind of look at me, he's like, okay, what's the next idea? And, I honestly couldn't do it without him. He's helped me launch my book, Living Joy, Empowering Ways to Reduce and Manage Stress, back in April of 2017. He's my back-end man, helping me with my online programs, packing my bag to get me going out the door for presentations. I was part of Womanition for many years and made connections there. I've been the community relations manager with Your Holistic Earth and even helped launch that out in Vancouver, British Columbia. And so, I don't know, Candice, it's just this inner knowing and having that drive. It's kind of hard to explain.
I love it. And it is amazing because, as I said, you have been doing so much for so many people for so long. And so I want to talk about what you've been doing recently. I know we haven't had you on the program for, oh my goodness, over a year now. And I want to know what is new with you.
What's new with me? Well, I'll start with, I really felt a calling to support women through hormone, this beautiful transitional years of perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause. And of course, I was on that journey. I'm 50. Next month, Earth Day is my birthday, and I'll be 56. And I'm having the time of my life.
Nice.
And so I dove in deeper to get more training and more courses, and this has been a real successful journey. And I'm doing the work. I'm in the trenches doing the work, and it's really paying off. So I launched my online live program, Applause for Menopause, January of 2019. And I offered that program several times during that year. And then I took a group of ladies to a retreat in Costa Rica. So my Applause for Menopause retreat, I hosted in November of 2019. And truthfully, I thought that I was going to be developing a self-study in January of 2020. And it turned out I was guided in other directions. And I ended up diving deeper into essential oils, and I became very involved with doTERRA and understanding the power and the passion of using those oils for women's health and doing my inner work. Like 2020 was a year of real shifting for me and learning more and doing detox and connecting with brand new soul sisters out there. And so this past, what day is it today? The 22nd, I launched a new Applause for Menopause program on the first day of spring. And it was a powerful day to launch because truly this is our second spring and stepping into this next phase of our life. To be honest, not everybody wants to embrace this time of life. They may have heard some stories of their mother, their grandmother, their aunt, their sister, whoever, and it wasn't a pleasant transition. And so the work that I do is about embracing this transition and empowering women. Yeah.
Well, we always talk about how women are more empowered in this time of their lives. They're wiser. I always see these amazing women that you look up to, that you want them to mentor you, to share everything about themselves.
Absolutely. And, I had a conversation with another soul sister last Monday, and she shared with me a beautiful insight. She said, we moved through this journey from being a child to a maiden, to a mother, to a matron, to a crone. And I thought, wow, isn't that beautiful? This beautiful transition, and how she shed a really interesting metaphor of when we're cycling, we create this egg and we release this egg if it's not fertilized. And so when we transition, we're actually doing the same, but we're doing it energetically, and we manifest. So every month, we're literally creating eggs, which is creation. We're creating, and then we're releasing. We're manifesting that. And we go, Tim and I looked at each other, and he's like, oh, yeah. And these finally being able to release things in our life that are no longer serving us, really taking a deeper dive into what is in alignment with us and what no longer serves us. In 2020, that really gave us the opportunity as this global shift of raising our frequency and shifting ourselves into higher consciousness, women are stepping into their power.
Yes. I have really seen that with people. I love that you just said that, because that's something that I've really noticed in the last little while. I know that a lot of people have been going through transitions and trying to figure out things, but I have seen so many amazing women stepping into their power, and it's just almost mind-blowing to me.
Yeah, you look at so many global leaders right now, and they are those matrons. They are, I've heard, crone? What do you mean crone? That really doesn't have it's a beautiful honor to be a crone. Some people call it a grandmother. And they're at this place of peace. They're at this place of strength. They're at this place of wisdom. So my program is transition into greater wisdom. And
I like
having support through this transition. So my program's for women in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond. And it's about intention. So I have 6 modules, and we support women. We all need support. We're not meant to do this alone. And I love the language intention versus a goal. Intention has a frequency of an open door. And sometimes we have an idea as to what we need to do. And yet, you know what? The universe has got something even better.
I like that. Heather, can I ask you, this program that you're doing, do you offer it a couple times a year, or can people just sign up at any time?
Good question. Thank you. Because it's delivered live, I'm launching April 14th, and it'll be for 6 weeks, every other week, and then I'll be offering it probably again in the fall. But I do also offer private coaching. And I also offer a vitality and wellness strategy session. So the first 5 ladies to sign up, that's going to be my gift. It's worth $97. And we're going to have an hour together. And they're going to complete a form, do a deep dive into their health and what's happening, body, mind, and spirit. And I'll help you with resources and ideas and reflections. And then we're going to be together live for an hour and a half every other Wednesday. And everything from, rest and rejuvenation, because a lot of times women, those night sweats, and if we don't get a good night's sleep, that directly impacts our mental ability, our brain fog. And bottom line, we need to address stress.
I love
this. To address our stress. So the modules will have a variety of modalities and resources and videos and guests coming on to support through rest and rejuvenation, food, detox, supplements, setting our intentions. I've got some beautiful gifts just for signing up. We've got a theme song.
You have a theme song?
Yes, we have a theme song. So this is a beautiful woman out of Hawaii. Her name is Bentley Calloway, and the song is "Take It On." And the first time I heard it, it just spoke to my soul. And so they get that, and that's just going to really set that intention for our time together. And I have connected with a beautiful soul, Jessica from Vibe High, and you get a gift of a crystal sound bath. And it's beautiful intention specifically for our program. Yeah. And the third gift is
awesome.
The third gift is actually facial reflexology. So I did a facial reflexology course between Christmas and New Year's last year. And I work with Erica. She's got a location in Calgary as well as Victoria. And this is a really cool video. It's a facial massage. And it stimulates all the systems and organs of your body first thing in the morning. Makes you look youthful, gets your energy flowing. So I've got that as a gift right when you register. So yeah, those are ways that they can sort of get in the feel of the program before we start on April 14th.
Oh, I like that. And we're going to be posting that on our social media for all of our listeners too, because I think it's really important to go check that out. I want to applaud you for that though, Heather, because menopause is not a topic that was really discussed years ago. And I think it's really become a forefront because women have become more empowered and they want to share that and they want to empower others. And I love the synergy that's always involved in that when, you know, women want to help other women.
Absolutely. You know, one of my research, some of the research that I did this past year, I don't know whether you've heard of Anthony Williams, but he talks about the history of literally the last 125 years and what's happened with women's health. And I'm going to share this in the program and why women since the 1950s have had symptoms that women historically never, ever had. So we're going to dive into the history of that and then what we can do to address those symptoms and bring our bodies back into this place of health and vitality, strength, feeling joy.
I think it sounds like a fantastic program, and I know that our listeners are going to love that, which is one of the great things, you know, I want to share with our listeners. I know that a lot of our listeners are globally, you know, we are listened to in over 30 countries around the world now. And I do realize that Heather does have her courses in Mountain Standard Time, but how is this going to affect, you know, perhaps some people that listen to us in India? Would they be able to, if they can't come live with your program, could they get a recording?
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
Excellent.
So it'll be
I
accessible. The idea is to, you know, be able to be live, but you know what? I'm open to creative solutions. It would be an honor to have international ladies joining my program.
That is wonderful, Heather. Thank you so much for doing that. Well, one of the things, Heather, I want to ask you is that is there any tips? Is there any tools, things that you would love to share with our listeners today that could, you know, perhaps help them on their journey to better health and wellness?
Wow. Yes. You know what? I call self-care love care, and I have a few non-negotiables, meaning every day. And one that I do every morning, I take 20 ounces of filtered water. And we're not talking just a Brita filter. We're talking a quality filter. And adding a pinch of sea salt. And then I add the doTERRA certified, pure tested grade citrus oil. And it's like, you know, we take a shower on the inside, we need to take a shower on the inside. On the outside, we need to take a shower on the inside. So those citrus oils help detoxify the body. And the simplicity of having water, if you want to make it warm, you can make it warm. Mine is always room temperature, but it's key. If you don't get a filter, you'll be a filter. And so having that 20 ounces of filtered water with the sea salt and an essential oil, I love tangerine, lemon, grapefruit, green mandarin. I change it up. And the second thing is I put essential oils on the bottom of my feet first thing in the morning to feel grounded. I don't know, this past year it just feels like I can be very distracted and not feeling a sense of grounded. So I put either vetiver, which is the root of a grass from Haiti. I put that on the bottom of my feet. Or I have, doTERRA has a blend called Balance, and that's a blend of trees. So thinking of it as anchoring you. And then I actually use earthing grounding mats. And this is the simplest, easiest way to ensure that you're staying grounded. And this is a whole other topic, but ultimately we're bombarded by all of the dirty electricity, the EMF, which is electromagnetic frequency, and this is negatively impacting every cell in our body. And so I have an earthing mat under my keypad. I've got my bare feet on the mat right now under my desk as we speak. And I also have a mat on my bed where I sleep, and it goes under my bed sheet. And this brings you back as if you were touching and putting your bare feet back on Mother Earth. And you give all that toxic overload of positive ions to Mother Earth, and in return, she gives you the negative. And you will feel calm, centered, and grounded. So on my website, heathershealthcoaching.com, I have Heather's Picks, and you can, there's a Canadian site on there with Kurt. He actually wrote, that's another chapter in my book, is on earthing, and you can order the earthing mats. And it's a simple, easy way to transform your health. So I'm grounded as many hours in the day as I could possibly can be. I'm sure many of you are working from home. And so my workspace where I spend many hours is sacred space for me. It's clean. It's organized. I have my diffuser. I have special things like I have a rose sphere quartz. I have beautiful images. I have flowers. And so I want to come into that space each day. I guess you could call it my office, but I have that sacred space. And then, of course, I take my supplements twice a day. So I have doTERRA supplements that I use for nutrition and to detoxify. So again, on Heather's Picks, I've got doTERRA, DOTERRA, and that's foundational.
That. Foundational. And that is wonderful to leave our guests, our listeners with today, because, I think it's really important to have that type of a grounding, like you're saying, in order to get on with our day, because we're overwhelmed. I think that's what we've really noticed as, a society, a global society, is that we were overwhelmed and we didn't know how to deal with such a big change. And you have some tips and tools that can really help people get back to where they need to be. So I want to thank you so much for sharing that today.
My pleasure.
And is there any last minute things you'd love to share with our listeners?
I would love to share that I am proud to be part of Rowan House. And Rowan House is a local women's shelter. And I have donated financially to this women's shelter. And now I'm excited. I've gone through all of their protocols with regards to the screening, and I'll be offering health coaching classes virtually. And there's many women are sadly remaining in their homes because the women's shelters are not at capacity that they used to be. And they were already at a capacity of a waiting list, but because of the limited number of people that they allow with all of the health restrictions, that we want to support women and empower women and teach them powerful self-care if they have to remain in that unhealthy environment. And they're in High River, Alberta. And they're also, I'm excited to hear that just this past week, that they're opening another location in Okotoks, which is about a half an hour away from me. And they're looking for furniture, silk plants, and of course financial contributions as well. So it's Rowan, ROWAN, house.ca. So I have scholarshiped many women to be in my full program, but this is separate. This is to be offering specific classes for these women to, when you're in that space, it's not always easy to do self-care. And so I really feel honored that I'll be offering kind of lunch and learn and different classes for that.
I love that. Thank you so much for doing that, Heather. You're amazing.
Thank you, Candace.
And I had such a great time chatting with you today. And I hope, because you do have so much information and so much knowledge, I hope you come back on our program and share more of that with us.
It would be my honor. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. And a big shout out to all of our amazing listeners that have been tuning in. This is our 11th season, guys, and it's because of all of you that we've continued to do the Divas That Care. A big shout out. We are so grateful to everything and everyone that has been a part of our journey. Again, you can listen to all of our podcasts at divasthatcare.com. And I hope that you do something kind for somebody today. Thank you so much for listening. And until next time.
Thanks for listening. This show was brought to you by Divas That Care. Connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on divasthatcare.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss a thing.